have Dr. Bernice King, and she's calling for school strikes. At the top of the show, we talked about the youth of Tennessee taking action in their own hands by standing up and protesting at that Capitol. And now they've got a prominent supporter, the one and only Reverend Dr. Bernice King. And she is making it clear that she stands with our young people and the actions that they're taking. 150%. And here's the headline: Bernice King urges permanent school strike until assault weapons ban is passed. And Reverend Dr. King, she spoke with The Hill about her call to action, and she said the following: this issue that they're standing tall in is well past being addressed. It should not have to take this kind of effort, but we're living in times where what my father did, which was to really sacrifice their very lives, sacrifice their jobs, sacrifice their homes, sacrifice everything. We're right back at that place. And Reverend Dr. Bernice King, she is the CEO of the King Center. And she went on to say, I wish there was a way to really organize them in a way that their walkout is not just a day, but it's the Montgomery Bus protest, that we refuse to return to school until there is something significant, some significant legislation that bans assault weapons. My father was assassinated with a rifle that would be the equivalent of what we call assault weapons today. And 55 years later, we're just increasing the access to those instruments. Amen, Reverend Dr. Bernice King on that. And if in fact you are too young to remember, the US did have an assault weapons ban from 1994 to 2004. And it was called the Federal Assault Weapons Ban. According to a 2021 study by Northwestern University, that ban did in fact work. It did what it was designed to do. The study authors estimate the ban prevented 10 public mass shootings during the decade it was in place before it was allowed to expire. FAWB would have prevented 30 public mass shootings that killed 339 people and injured an additional 1,139 people, the authors said. And this is coming from Northwestern now. So Francesca, it is so good to see the Reverend Dr. Bernice King jump into this, and even using the example of what happened to her father 55 years ago. That was just yesterday when we on this show and all kinds of people across the country and the world recognized the assassination of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. But the way she wrapped that together, that weapon that he was assassinated with would be the equivalent of what people are walking around with today. Just so powerful and so courageous of the King family to continue to use what has happened to them to help, to edify, to lift, to remind, and to push us in this country.
Yes, and I just want to say I like her call to action as well. I mean, I think it's incredible. Like the Montgomery bus boycotts, yeah, they're sustained, they're driven. It's not just a one-off. So I think that's an excellent idea, and I'm reminded of Greta Thunberg's strike for the climate, or school strike for the climate. I think we can school strike for gun control.
There it is. We can school strike for gun control. That's it.